President Gallagly addresses racism on campus, the aftermath of a deadly tornado, and a Norman nonprofit that saved the lives of hundreds. This is OU Nightly. Thanks for joining us for OU Nightly. I'm Tori King.
And I'm Storme Jones. We begin tonight with a new commitment from OU's President James Gallagly. In an email sent out today, the president explained part of the plan to increase diversity on campus. Ashley Eddy has more details on what Gallagly is calling Phase 1 of the university's efforts.
OU President James Gallagly sent an email to the OU community today stating 7 main steps that will be taken. And he made this promise back in January after the racist video emerged.
I am committed to being transparent as we work together to listen and form next steps for our university community. The university is a place for excellence, inclusivity, and caring for one another.
3 main steps in the plan include hiring a vice president, chief diversity officer, via a national search who will report directly to the university president, implementing additional diversity learning and training opportunities for staff, faculty, and students, as well as improving the recruiting and hiring strategies for staff and faculty. And Gallagly knows this is just the first step in the program, and he knows much work will have to be done in the future. Reporting live on OU's campus, Ashley Eddy.
Thanks, Ashley. Officials respond to a racist video involving a group of Alabama high school students.
Without the Holocaust, what would the world be like?
We would have white people still. All of the numbers would not be there.
Jews would run the world without the Holocaust.
Jews are fine
If the Holocaust never happened, Jews would be running the world right now.
It's fine. We just need gone.
The video first circulated on Twitter and shows Spain Park High School students drinking and using racial slurs. Students are heard talking about the Holocaust, Jewish people, Democrats, and black people, and claim that several times throughout the video, black people deserve to be in concentration camps. A father of one of the students issued an apology for her behavior, while the city mayor, Frank Bucato, tweeted a public apology of his own. It's unknown if the students will be facing punishment for the video at this time.
And we're learning more tonight about the 23 people killed in Sunday's tornado outbreak. The youngest victim was 6 years old, the oldest 89. One family lost 7 family members. The tornado that struck Lee County, Alabama Sunday was an EF4 with winds estimated at 170 miles per hour. The National Weather Service says that tornado was nearly a mile wide and it was on the ground for 27 miles. Rescue crews continue to search for anyone that could be buried beneath the rubble.
We're still actively searching areas there. Today we do have firefighters on the ground searching. They're searching not mainly for somebody, but just searching areas that have large piles of debris, searching through that debris to make sure that we miss nobody.
And Trey Bell joins us now with more on this devastating tornado in Alabama and today's weather headlines. Trey.
Yeah, Storm, definitely a heartbreaking situation in the southeastern part of our country across Alabama and into Georgia. These are preliminary tornado reports. Now, the National Weather Service is still sending out survey teams to confirm exactly where these tornadoes touched down and how long their tracks were and how intense they were. But just a prolific severe weather outbreak took place this weekend. It's definitely a heartbreaking situation, and our thoughts go out to those families affected by it. Bringing it back home, however, our big story has been these wind chills, and right now we're actually not too bad. We're above freezing even in the wind chills, so that slow warm-up begins today, and then these weather headlines as we move forward. Cold night ahead, slow warm-up begins, but rain is back in the forecast. Back to you guys at the desk.
Looking forward to that update. Thanks, Trey. Lawmakers and women's rights activists are fighting to approve the Dignity Act. This would require jails and prisons to provide free access to menstrual products for female inmates. Currently, Oklahoma's law states that jails and prisons are required to provide these products, but this policy can vary from facility to facility. Oklahoma ranks first in female incarceration in the U.S., and if passed, Oklahoma would be the 9th state to approve this type of legislation.
Attorneys for several pharmaceutical companies are asking for a 100-day delay in an Oklahoma trial centered on whether the firms fraudulently marketed drugs that fueled the opioid epidemic. Oklahoma is one of at least 13 states that have filed lawsuits against drug makers, but Oklahoma's case so far has the earliest scheduled trial date. Attorneys for the state opposed the delay, calling the request frivolous, desperate, and disingenuous. A Cleveland County District Judge will hear from both sides on Friday.
And on average, 20 veterans a day die from suicide, according to the Department of Veteran Affairs. Talon Forbis has more on President Trump's plan to prevent such tragedies. Talon?
Thanks, Tori. Trump signs a measure today to help prevent veteran suicides.
Our mission is to mobilize every level of American society to save the lives of our great veterans and support our heroes in need.
Roadmap to empower veterans and end a national tragedy of suicide, also known as the Prevents Initiative, is aimed at creating a federal task force that will deal with how agencies can help prevent veteran suicides. The White House described this executive order as a national call to action. House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff hires former prosecutor who is familiar with Russian organized crime to lead his Russia investigation. Trump denied any allegations of collusion, calling the investigation a witch hunt.
Witch hunt continues. The fact is that I guess we got 81 letters. There was no collusion. That was a hoax.
Special counsel Robert Mueller is also investigating accusations of collusion and reportedly plans to conclude his probe shortly. And the Commissioner of the Food and Drug Administration, Dr. Scott Gottlieb, announces his resignation. Gottlieb will have served in the job for just less than 2 years when he resigns in about a month. He has tackled issues from measles to romaine lettuce in his time served as commissioner. When asked, Dr. Gottlieb said he was weary of the commute and missed his family back home. He has also been subject of increasing pressure from Republicans and former associates for his tough stance against youth vaping and cigarettes. And the Democrat Michael Bloomberg, the mayor of New York City, announces he will not be running for president in 2020. Back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you, Talon. Norman residents will soon have the opportunity to vote on a bill proponents say could solve the city's stormwater problem. Up next, details on that plan.
Plus, the Sooners have a crucial matchup tonight against the Jayhawks. This game could determine their tournament chances. Parker Thune has the preview. The next citywide election for Norman is still a few weeks away. Taitum Wilson has the details on what voters could expect to see on the upcoming ballot. Taitum?
Norman residents will be voting on a series of proposals relating to city stormwater and drainage of runoff. It's part of the Vision for Norman plan. The proposals include a 3-tier residential and 4-tier non-residential stormwater utility fee and a stormwater general obligation bond to address issues of flooding and water quality in Norman.
The city of Norman's stormwater infrastructure is, up to 90, 100 years old. We have clay pipe in some parts of our older parts of town. And these bond projects help to address flooding issues from this undersized infrastructure.
The proposals would help fund the stormwater program's daily maintenance and operational needs, but that money would also address water quality improvements in Lake Thunderbird. The body of water behind me provides 70% of drinking and tap water in Norman. That includes water from the sink, shower, or tap. But this isn't the first time stormwater funding proposals have gone to a citywide vote. A stormwater utility fee failed on a 2016 ballot.
As we were reflecting on the 2016 election, we really felt that the citizens needed more of a voice in the stormwater plan and how stormwater funding was going to move forward for the city of Norman. So the mayor appointed a 16-member committee of citizens from across Norman.
That committee created the utility fee and bond proposal, their biggest concern being affordability.
Because we were proposing a bond, and that goes on your ad valorem property taxes. At the same time, we were proposing a utility, which would be on your monthly utility bill. And we felt like that had to be affordable.
The Vision for Norman proposal will appear on the April 2nd ballot. The proposal would also provide money for road projects across Norman. And the city hosted an open house last night to rally support for the Vision for Norman proposal. Attendees were encouraged to voice their concerns with Norman officials and advocacy groups. Officials are hoping these discussions will help alleviate some of the concerns Norman citizens had last time a stormwater-related issue came to a vote.
People come in with very little information. They might not be too happy about the notion of paying more taxes or paying a fee. And 30 minutes later, they leave with a whole different attitude and a whole different view of that because they've taken time to learn about what they're going to get for that investment.
The next open house is this Friday at the Main Street Event Center in Norman. Storme and Tori, back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Taitum. A Norman shelter opens its doors to those left out in the cold. Find out how you can help when we return.
And the sun shines back out this afternoon. Coming up, meteorologist Trey has more on just how long that'll last.
Guys, warmer temperatures are on the way, and it is definitely something you'll want to look forward to. I'll have more information after the break. Trey, here is a view across the country. Notice much of the middle region of the United States, there's nothing going on. It's due to this high pressure system that's dominating much of the U.S. If we look out to the west here in California, a lot of rain affecting California right now, and then up towards the Great Lakes region near Pennsylvania, Ohio, and the Midwest, we have some snowfall there as well, but elsewhere, there's not much going on. Let's zoom in to the southeastern portion of the country. This is the past 12 hours. This is that storm system that brought that extremely prolific severe weather event to the southeastern part of the United States, and thankfully it is now off over the Atlantic Ocean, and so first responders and people responsible for the cleanup after those events can get to work and get people the help that they need. So back home again, our big story have been wind chills, and as we're waking up tomorrow morning, this is 7 a.m. Wednesday, 19 degrees in Norman, 18 degrees in Oklahoma City, a little colder off to the north, but we will quickly warm into the 40s. More on that in just a second. So radar and satellite for Oklahoma. Sunshine will remain with us through the remainder of the evening. As we head into the overnight hours, some clouds build in from the northwest across the state, and then by the time we reach sunrise, those clouds are out of here, and then more sunshine for us again tomorrow. So a rather beautiful day in store for us tomorrow. So evening planner, temperatures will decrease into the mid-20s by midnight with calm winds and clear skies. Those calm winds and clear skies allow those temperatures to cool so quickly because the heat is able to escape into the atmosphere. So lows tonight, 20 in Norman as we're waking up in the morning. Highs tomorrow, 49 in Norman. Warmer out west, those southerly winds bringing warmer air to the western portions of the state, and then the 40s in the east as well. So two-day forecast, warming, full sun for tomorrow. A high of 63 on Thursday. Clouds return. Could see a little drizzle on Thursday, but nothing major. And then this Saturday, a higher chance of thunderstorms is in the forecast, a few of which could be severe. So that's something we'll definitely watch over the next several days, but I'm not expecting anything major for this weekend.
All right, looking forward to those warmer temperatures for sure.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Thanks, Trey.
No problem.
130 homeless women, children, and men gathered at Norman's Food and Shelter Center yesterday as temperatures reached a high of just 23 degrees. As day turned into night, the center transformed its dining room into a space where the homeless could find safety from the dangerous cold. Because of the lack of available space, the center provided 3 families with motel rooms. To combat the frigid weather, Norman Center is now open 24 hours a day. Food and Shelter Incorporated relies heavily on the community for support for the work that they're doing. So if you want to volunteer or donate, visit their website at foodandshelterinc.org. OU basketball hopes to continue its winning ways.
OU Nightly's James Myers is here with more.
That's right, Storm. The basketball team has their most important game of the year tonight, and an OU gymnast is now a finalist for a prestigious award. Hang tight, sports is next. Welcome back to OU Nightly. I'm James Myers, and it's time for sports. Right now, the OU softball team is squaring off against McNeese State University right here in Norman. The Sooners lead the Cowgirls 4-1 in the top of the 6th inning. The Sooners sit at number 4 nationally and are dominating the Diamond at 15-2 on the season. Meanwhile, on the hardwood tonight, the OU men's basketball team hosts Kansas in a pivotal late season showdown. Parker Thune is live at the Lloyd Noble Center with a preview. Parker?
Thanks, James. Now we're just over 3 hours away from tip here at the LNC, and both teams are headed into this game tonight with a little bit of added motivation. For Kansas, tonight is an opportunity to preserve their fading hopes of a 15th consecutive regular season title in the Big 12. For Oklahoma, a victory tonight would essentially punch their ticket to the madness.
They're always good. You got one of the premier players in the country, of course, in Lawson, and then a lot of other really, really good players around him. So we know we'll have to come with a great effort and make shots and do a good job on the boards and every other way.
Now, James, the Jayhawks come into this game reeling. They barely survived a colossal upset bid from Oklahoma State on Saturday, and it's become clear that this team has vulnerabilities, especially when it comes to defending outside shooters. Now, Aaron Calixte and Jamal Bieniemy have both had the hot hand as of late for the Sooners, so expect Lon Kruger's game plan to attack KU's perimeter defense early and often in this one. And in the end, it may just be that strong guard play that tips the scales tonight and pushes the Sooners from the bubble into the dance. Reporting live from the Lloyd Noble Center, Parker Thune, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Parker. The OU women's basketball team travels to Lubbock tonight to face Texas Tech at 7 p.m. Right now, the Sooners are at 8-20 on the season, but last time these two battled it out on the court, OU won. The Sooners can finish the regular season strong tonight with another victory. And the OU baseball team's game tonight against Dallas Baptist has been postponed. The game will take place tomorrow at 3 p.m. at Horner Ballpark in Dallas. The game was canceled due to cold weather, but that shouldn't be a problem for the red-hot Sooners, who sit at 11-1 on the season. OU gymnast Yul Moldauer is a Neeson Emery Award finalist. The award goes to the top senior gymnast in the NCAA, and Moldauer more than fits the bill. He has 7 individual NCAA titles as well as 15 All-America honors. With his help, the Sooners remain number 1 right now and look to make this year their 5th straight national championship. The OKC Thunder take on the Timberwolves tonight at 7 in Minnesota. The Thunder have fallen flat against the Wolves this year, losing both matchups so far. However, the team won on Sunday versus the Grizzlies and can continue their win streak tonight. And Alvin Gentry, coach of the New Orleans Pelicans, hasn't had a lot to smile about since Anthony Davis' trade fell through. However, after beating the Jazz last night, the coach cut loose.
They were hurting us on the pick and roll with both guys, with Favors and Gobert rolling to the basket. But excuse me, I've been in there. I had a couple of beers.
Ooh. Guys, they say have a designated driver. The Pelicans need a designated speaker in this case.
Wow. Very true. Thank you, James.
Thanks, James. Up next, the challenge that everyone is flipping out about.
The shoe that, like a cat, always lands right side up. Stay with us.
I'm Taylor Cox. At the update desk, Governor Kevin Stitt announced an agency accountability bill during a news conference within the last hour. The bill will give the governor the authority to hire and fire agency heads. He says he wants to do this because Oklahomans want transparency within their government. Both Speaker Charles McCall and President Pro Temp Greg Treat say this is a way to maintain checks and balances in the system. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you for that update, Taylor. Dang Daniel back at it again with the white Vans. You may see the rise in videos of people throwing their shoes. Van, a popular skating shoe brand whose fan base extends well beyond the realm of skaters, has people throwing their shoes left and right.
The Vans challenge started circulating on Twitter early this week, claiming that the shoe will land right side up most of the time. Twitter user Barry Prada posted a video yesterday with a series of Vans being thrown about, each landing upright.
And Vans has not yet made a comment on their recent internet fandom. All right, thank you for watching OU Nightly, brought to you by the Gaylord College at the University of Oklahoma.
We'll see you right back here tomorrow night, live at 4:30.
Have a great evening.
Good night.